Hey kids! Do you like your movie heroes turned into crusty, cranky, craggly fossils? Does compelling, interesting, and humorous writing make you want to vomit? Have you ever watched a movie and thought, this is good, but this puppy could be legendary with a feminism enema? Well, Christmas, Kwanzaa, and Hanukkah all rolled up into one could be coming early for you this year. Stay tuned.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
Hey there, my movie maniacs, my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics. Welcome to this latest episode of your favorite movie review show, of course, Movies Merica. And I am your humble host, Van Eberts. And with this episode, we'll be going over a little movie you may have heard of known as Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, okay? And I'm going to go through the synopsis here first, but one thing that I want you to keep in mind while I go through this is the first Indiana Jones movie that Steven Spielberg agreed or disagreed to direct, okay? He just did not want to direct this movie, okay? And
Okay.
And before I get into it, though, here, let me remind you or ask you to follow or subscribe this channel and like this video and then hit that notification bell down there, okay, if you would. But enough of all that, right?
Let's go, I'm bored, let's go.
There, let's get into Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. So where we start off with this movie here, and I'm not going to give away any spoilers, don't worry, but we start off with a scene earlier in history in this movie. So earlier than the time in history that the rest of the movie is going to take place in, for the most part, right? Okay. And so we're back in the days of Indiana Jones as we knew him, like in Temple of Doom and Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade, back in those days, back when he was still young. Okay. And he is captured by Nazis, and he's in this, looks like a castle, that kind of thing. And looks like it's towards like the last legs of World War II, where it's clear that Germany has lost the war, and these German troops, these Nazis, are trying to get out while the getting is good and trying to take a bunch of loot with them, okay? And so in the middle of all this, Indiana Jones gets captured, and it's the young Indiana Jones, okay? And this whole segment here reminded me of that Castle Brunwald sequence in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, when Indiana Jones and Ilsa, they go to that castle, they're trying to find his dad, and Indiana Jones is like, I've come here to see the tapestries. You have tapestries here, don't you, man? You know, like trying to do the Scottish accent, you know, better than I just did. And so it kind of reminds me of that sequence in the Last Crusade movie there, where it takes place in the dark and that kind of thing. But so the first 15, 20 minutes of this movie are action-packed, and they're tolerable. Okay, they're tolerable. It doesn't want to make you, retch your guts out. Okay, but then we cut from that time further back in history to Harrison Ford, obviously playing Indiana Jones, but in like 1969. And he's an old man and crusty and craggly and cranky and just a shadow of his former self, and he's teaching at a college, and he's in New York City for some reason. I don't know what, but Then he's teaching his class, and then we get Phoebe Waller-Bridge as Helena, I believe is how you say her name. She shows up in his class and is answering some questions. They meet again. They're reunited because they knew each other when she was a little girl, and he's her godfather, and she's looking for a ancient relic, okay? And she thinks that Indiana can help her out, and the movie just bounces from there, okay? So, again, the Dial of Destiny is in the title itself, so the Dial of Destiny is what they're ultimately looking throughout this whole movie. And you get the typical Indiana Jones movie timeline or event timeline. You're searching all over the place. They're globe-trotting to this country and that. There's chases and danger and all that stuff, all right? Yeah! And so that's all in this Indiana Jones on the Dial of Destiny movie, okay? But what I got to say is in that first segment where you have the de-aged Harrison Ford, I do have to say that the de-aging did look good, but unfortunately, my brain wouldn't let me forget that it is a de-aged Harrison Ford. This is technology, and my brain just wouldn't let me totally accept this de-aged Harrison Ford. But they're getting better. They're getting better. They're improving. Okay, and you know what? It may end up being a very cool technology to see future movies where movie stars that are unfortunately getting older, because that's the way of life. Right? We may be able to see movies with younger versions of themselves doing movies that we normally otherwise wouldn't have seen without this de-aging process. All right, so that's my synopsis to get us started off, to get this rocket blasting off into the rest of this episode of Movies Merica. Like trying to find the Ark of the Covenant without the headpiece to the staff of Ra, I'm having a real hard time trying to figure out why Harrison Ford would agree to make this movie. It sure wasn't about the money, because he took a $40 million pay cut to make this movie. He actually made more with Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull than he did with this Dial of Destiny movie. Now, the ending of that movie, the Crystal Skull movie, actually would have been a better, happy send-off for this iconic character. I mean, in that movie, it ends with him getting married to Marion, and he finds out he has a son. This movie takes that ending and rips its still beating heart right out of its chest, Mola Ram style, okay? Indy is reduced to pretty much being the old man Carl from the movie Up. He's poor, and he's living in a cruddy New York City apartment, and he's still teaching at an even cruddier college. He's even that old man that yells at you when he thinks that your music is too loud. Why? And it's also so stupid how they wrote that Indy would want to stay back in this location that they end up at towards the end of the movie. And you'll know what I'm talking about after you watch the movie. Now, this movie does give him some rare moments where he does resemble the old Indiana Jones. Also, Ford does have a couple of scenes where he does bring some good emotionality to it. I mean, and that's just thanks to his veteran acting skills. There's so many movies where Harrison Ford has brought some great emotion to it, like think The Fugitive, right? And other movies like that. Now, if his judgment was as good as his acting, he would have stopped being Indiana Jones after The Last Crusade and ended Indy on a high note. This show is spoiler-free, but the show this Thursday night called Movies Merica Spoiler Warning is called that for a reason. There's a lot of spoilers. And this Thursday night's Movies Merica Spoiler Warning show is going to be all about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, just like this spoiler-free show is about. But in that show, you're going to get spoiled rotten, okay? I'm going to get all spoilery about this Indiana Jones movie because that show is designed specifically so that you can live chat with me and we can talk in depth about this movie, okay? You can comment about your favorite scene. Maybe you hate this movie. Maybe you love it. You can tell me about this character that you like or something that they did. Whatever comes to mind, okay? So whatever you want to live chat with me, okay? All about, okay? It doesn't even have to be about this movie, okay? And so how do you get to this show? Well, all you got to do is on Thursday, you can go to my Twitter page, @MoviesMerica, and you could look for the links there. Usually comes out sometime like after 10 a.m. Central, somewhere around there. But sometime during the day, go to @MoviesMerica on Twitter. You'll see the links to the show. Or on Thursday, you can just go to YouTube or Rumble, and you can look for Movies Merica. Now, the wrinkle with YouTube, because YouTube's kind of dumb, is it's going to think that you're looking looking for Movies America. No. What you have to do is right underneath where you specifically type Movies America, you click on the blurb that says something like look instead or search instead for Movies America. Click that, and that'll rattle YouTube's rather small brain to actually give you results based on what you actually typed in, okay? Rumble, you don't have to worry about that. Rumble is a cool, hip club. It's got that cool vibe. That's what Rumble is. YouTube is like the disheveled, disgusting city ripped to pieces, and it's like a third world country. That's what YouTube is, okay? So Rumble's where it's at, okay? But like I said, you'll be able to live chat with me, and I really hope to see you there again for this Thursday night. It's at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, and that's 5 Central and 6 Central, 5 Mountain. Woo! Just go to the link. You'll see what time it is, okay? But I really want to see you there. I think the marketing team for this movie screwed up. Surely the title they meant to go with was Indiana Jones and the Cash Cauldron of Female Empowerment. Now, this is clearly Disney's attempt at cashing in on a beloved franchise that is less and less beloved with every new Indiana Jones movie they make. Now, we are partly to blame because movie audiences keep spending more money on these franchise movies and ignore big-budget original movies when studios occasionally grow some balls and actually make some original movies, okay? Take Edge of Tomorrow, for example. Okay, that is a big-budget Tom Cruise original film, but it didn't make as much money as an Indiana Jones or Star Wars or a DC or a Marvel movie. And that message was received by the studios, and they didn't make a sequel to Edge of Tomorrow. And then instead proceeded to make more cookie-cutter franchise dreck, okay? Now, if you're feeling right now like you've been a part of this problem, well, you can skip Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Do your part by doing that, and then go check out an original movie like Oppenheimer instead. That's coming out pretty soon as of when I'm recording this. And now, the woke Borg's campaign to defile our beloved heroes, to destroy our, revered franchises, just reminds me of Belloc opening up the Ark of the Covenant in Raiders. Remember that? You see franchise after franchise getting melted and destroyed by the woke demons flying out of that ark. Now, I know that sounds overly dramatic, but just you wait until the woke Borg comes after your favorite franchise and they make Bella and Edward from Twilight a Nigerian paraplegic transsexual couple with blue and green hair. Well, it's a day that ends in Y. And so that means I am going to ask you to subscribe or follow this channel if you would, ladies and gentlemen. And then also, while you're doing that, hey, just hit the like button right next to this episode if you would, since you're there anyway already, okay? And then also hit that notification bell so that way you get notification when a hot, sizzling, delicious new episode of Movies Merica is ready just for you, okay? And then also get down in those comments, if you would, right below this episode. You can comment to me with questions, comments. You can let me know of a movie that you want me to review. Anything that comes to your comes into your heart's desire. That makes no sense whatsoever. Okay. And then also get to our website if you would, tdpn.locals.com, okay? TDPN stands for Till Death Podcast Network, okay? And that's the website where we have all our content like videos and articles and blogs, all about movies and entertainment, politics, hot button issues, sizzling hot issues of the day, that kind of thing. And they're presented to you in a way you will not find anywhere else, believe me, okay? And that, again, is at tdpn.locals.com. Now, right now, if you go there and you put in promo code TDPN, you're going to get 1 month free at that website. You bet. And then after that, it's just a measly little $3 a month. Measly little $3. That's like a box of ho-hos. Don't get excited. I said ho-hos. Or, hey, a box of Twinkies. There you go. Okay. All right. Enough about that. Let's move on with the show. Phoebe Waller-Bridge as Helena is a cinematic equivalent of a severe ingrown toenail. God in heaven! Now, you may have seen her dig at capitalism line in a trailer for this movie.
You stole it. Then you stole it.
And then I stole it. It's called capitalism.
Now, that anti-capitalism line fits her vapid, bubble-headed, narcissistic personality perfectly. The personality in her character, for her character in this movie, of course. And her character takes a shot at capitalism while dressing like she's obviously enjoying the benefits of capitalism big time. She also pukes out a line at Indy about him being an aging man. Now, this is after she locks him in a room with the bad guys and leaves him for dead. Now, keep in mind that Indy is her godfather. Oh, my God. Now, I guess I have to keep in mind that the writers of this think of Indy as an old, white, cisgender member of the evil patriarchy. Now, also, her character is in this movie just to get paid, okay? Now, for an anti-capitalist, she sure does want to practice a lot of capitalism and do a lot of selling of ancient artifacts for cold, hard cash, okay? Then, in the most absolute hilarious swing for the fences that they try to sell audiences on, they try to make Helena a sex pot. She's a slightly more feminine, snaggletooth version of Elliot Page. If Elliot Page and Big Bird had a love child. So, no, I'm not buying the sex pot thing. All right, everybody. Hey, let me do you a solid for doing me the pleasure of watching this video. And I'm going to tell you about Nature Clear Recovery Powder to do you a solid, okay? Now, what is Nature Clear Recovery Powder and what does it help you recover from? Well, the whole point of it is to prevent you from getting a hangover, okay? If you're like me, you like to have a good time, you like to go out there and sometimes you have a great time, okay, which involves a little boozy booze. Nature Clear Recovery Powder is going to be your best friend. It's going to be your bestie. It's going to be your BFF, okay? And what it is you just take these little Nature Clear packets, okay? And before you go out there and party it up, all you do is put this in like 12 ounces of water or like a bottle of water, okay? And mix it up and you just take it before you go out there when you're going and partying and clubbing and whatever you're doing, okay? Sitting on a beer patio, whatever, okay? And so, yeah, you just take this before you go out, okay? You don't have to worry about a hangover afterwards, okay? You can live up the nightlife all you want, okay? And now, if you happen to be out there and you're like 27 tequila shots in, or you're drinking, Cosmos, you're 27 into those, well, and you realize, oh, my God, I forgot to take my Nature Clear Recovery Powder. Have no fear. Just take it afterwards, okay? Just drunk crawl out of your Uber and up to your pantry in your house and just grab your Nature Clear, take it then, and you'll be good to go, okay? And it also helps you recover from smoking and vaping, okay? And so by this point, I'm sure you're asking, how do I get this terrific product there, Van? Well, I will tell you. You just click on that link in the description down below, the Nature Clear link, and it'll take you to the website. You just pick out what Nature Clear products you want, get them in the cart. Now, while you're there, make sure in the promo code field you enter in the promo code MOVIES, okay? And you're going to get up to 25% off your next order, okay? So, didn't I tell you I was going to do you a solid? So get some of this, all right? Because the drunk night that you save could be your own. This movie is a junk drawer of stupid moments. Somehow in the 60s, there's a black chick as the head of security for Nazi character Mads Mikkelsen. She's so in charge, she can call one of her white fellow agents a cracker and get no blowback. Speaking of Mikkelsen, his character, Dr. Voller, however you say his name, somehow survives death. I know that makes no sense right now, but after you see the movie, it'll still make no sense. Then there's Teddy. Teddy is this movie basically recycling the short round character from Temple of Doom right down to the pickpocket's backstory. Teddy is Helena's short round. Late in the movie, Teddy suddenly knows how to fly a plane. Well, earlier in the movie, they pathetically try to set this up by Teddy having like this arts and crafts mock-up of a cockpit, and then there being a pilot there to show him how everything works. That kind of stupid feels right at home in this movie. On top of that, somehow Teddy is able to steal a plane, get it up in the air, and then fly it around for a bit, and the plane's actual pilot sleeps through the whole thing. Now, for our last act in this circus of stupidity, I invite you to remember how many times Indiana Jones has been punched in the face by big men in all the other Indiana Jones movies. However, somehow Helena can land one punch in Indy's face so hard that it knocks him out for a day or two. This one is for women power, ladies. That intro wasn't lying to you. It is brew review time. And it's a good thing because I'm getting real thirsty. So, on that note, let me grab tonight's special brew. One moment, please. Okay, so this brew tonight is going to come to us, or come to you and us, I guess, from True Vine Brewing Company. And this is their Salud Mexican Lager, okay? So True Vine Brewing Company out of Tyler, Texas. And it's got 4.5% alcohol by volume, okay? And it does have like a slightly minty taste, or a slight minty taste to it. And it's got like kind of a subtle sourness to it, which does give it more heft than your typical Mexican lagers, I find. Typical Mexican lagers like Nido Bandito from Deep Ellum Brewing Company, or more well-known ones like Dos Equis or Cerveza Sol. Now, I like those ones better than this Salud here, to be perfectly honest with you, but it's not bad in a pinch, okay? But yeah, let me take a tug off this bad boy, okay? Because that's what it's all about, right? Sweet Jesus, yes. All right. So yeah, salud. That's been brew review time. Is this movie a woke after-school special? Just let me put it this way. Like Indy says in Raiders, don't look at it. Shut your eyes. Don't look at it. No matter what happens. We, of course, get the aforementioned shot across the bow at capitalism from Phoebe Waller-Bridge, whose Helena character ironically dresses like a poster girl for the benefits of capitalism. Won't get to wear those fancy duds in a commune, lady. Also, we get the writers injecting the sensibilities of the 21st century into the late 60s by writing a black woman as a security boss for a Nazi who barks orders to her white subordinates. Now, I'm not the brightest bulb in the pack,
Why is the cork on the fork?
To prevent him hurting himself and others.
but I'm guessing the Nazis weren't big on hiring blacks and making them managers, no less. Now, you and I don't have a problem with that, but the party of blonde hair, blue eyes, preserve the master race, and all that evil crap would definitely have a problem with that. Also, the whole movie is a Well of Souls style snake pit full of militaristic feminism. They're obviously grooming Phoebe Waller-Bridge, of all women, to be heir apparent to be the new Indiana Jones. The fact that they're picking her and not a beautiful woman like Monica Barbaro or Alexandra Daddario or Melissa Barrera tells me that they're soaking this movie in the putrid waters of angry feminism. But I repeat myself. Well, you've stuck around for this long, and for that I am surely grateful. Absolutely. But since you're here still already anyway, feel free to subscribe or follow this channel if you would. You just got to hit the buttons right down there. And then also hit the like button if you would on this episode, okay? You would be so kind, if you would be so kind, I should say. And then also hit that notification bell down there somewhere as well. And that does exactly like what it sounds. It'll provide you a notification whenever there's a brand new, sizzling, hot, pipey, tasty, succulent new episode of Movies Merica ready, especially just for you, okay? And then also getting those comments down below. I want to hear from you, okay? I want some engagement. I don't want to just do this for myself. I want to hear from you. Believe me, I'm interested to hear your comments, questions, whatever, okay? I want to hear them. All right. Yeah, I know you don't believe me. This is my genuine face. It's telling you I want to see your comments. Okay? And then tdpn.locals.com. That is our website, TDPN, as in Till Death Podcast Network. So the website is where we have all our content, like our movies, our videos, our articles, our blogs, all about movies, entertainment, politics, hot button issues, that kind of thing, and served up to you in a way you won't see anywhere else, okay? Believe me. Again, that's tdpn.locals.com. Now, right now, if you go there and you put in promo code TDPN, you are going to get a free month of tdpn.locals.com. Pretty awesome, huh? Yeah. And then after that, it's just $3 a month. Cheap. Very cheap, okay? Even I don't think that is that much. There we go. All right. Hey, let's move on with the show. All right, so as I wrap up this episode, let me do as I always do, which is to outright blatantly steal the idea from the late, great Jerry Springer and have my own final thought on Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. He always used to do his final thoughts after every episode, and so I'm going to steal outright right from him, a legend. Okay, and so with this movie, as I'm sure you could tell, okay, unless you're not too bright, you could tell that I would not recommend going to see this movie. Okay, definitely don't bother gassing up the car, strapping in the kids, driving down the street to go see this turd. Okay, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is just a blatant cash grab, defiling a known franchise, a known name, because they know that Normie Norm is just going to sprint to the theater. Ooh, Indiana Jones. Oh, it's a new Indiana Jones movie. Oh, my God. Don't be Normie Norm, okay? Be a little bit more sophisticated than Normie Norm, okay? And don't check out this movie, okay? It just defiles a beloved character like Indiana Jones. It just props up the snaggletooth feminazi Big Bird. Helena is her character's name in this. It's got meh visual effects. Also, it's got nonsensical, wooden, dull writing. Other than that, I liked it. So, crawl, don't run to this insulting cash grab / woke after school special. Okay, everybody? All right, hey, with that, Get out there, people. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves. See ya.
Hey guys, don't leave the video quite yet. Okay, I've got the popo. They're coming after me, and I don't have much time to tell you, but you need to like and subscribe this video right here, down below. It's right down there. It's just waiting. It's waiting for you down there, okay? And make sure you watch these videos over here too. You'll be doing me a big favor. I'll be in handcuffs pretty soon. All right. Thanks for watching.